The table's a little bit off here. Ooh. More this way. There we go. Oh, and we're live. Outstanding. That on low? Yeah. All right, let's refresh this. Make sure the stream is healthy. Make sure stream is public this time because I've done that before. Johnny, how's it going? And it looks like, yeah, so it is public. Awesome. And if people are rolling in now. Robert, how's the MK3 clone doing? The MK3 clone is doing excellent. I am still waiting for the part cooling fan to come in before I do any more work on that machine. But I have been printing on it. I actually just did a MakerBox video earlier this evening and do the filming and everything. I edit it. They'll be up next week. But I mean, it came out great for not having any cooling. You could definitely see where it's suffering a little bit from overhangs, but it prints exactly the same as my Mark III. I mean, I am super happy about it. It took a little work to get there, and a big thanks to everyone in the community for helping out. But yeah, it prints awesome so far. I'm super happy about it. Gunnar, what's up, man? How's it going? Hello from Spain. What's up, Juan? Hope I'm saying that right, Juan. All right, we got a couple people here. We're just going to go ahead and roll into this. So, Gearbest sent me the Alfawise U30 machine, which is supposed to be the direct competitor to the Gearbest A10, which I have one of those, and the Ender 3, because they are all priced at $180. All exact same price. They're all about the exact same build volume. I mean, the Ender 3 and the Gearbest are almost identical machines. Very little difference between the two of those. Even build-wise, it's very, very similar. So I'm interested to see what Alfawise is bringing to the table, because they were a pretty new brand when they brought out the U10 that I have. That was the massive 400 by 400 by 500 printer. But this one, this might be a new contender into great quality prints, because the Ender 3 prints out fantastic and the A10 prints fantastic. For 180 bucks, you really can't beat that for a printer. So let's see what's the last one here. Let's call it my review for the U10. So I mean, I have the U10. Quality is meh. I'm hoping in the year and a half, almost 2 years since I received the U10, they made some changes. But we're gonna get the big old crocodile Dundee knife, and we're gonna dig in now. I said this came from Gearbest. Took about, mail takes a while to get to me, and this takes about 2.5 to 3 weeks to get to me from China. So I'm a little late to the game when they were sending these out, but that's okay. I'm never one to be the first one to do anything, so c'est la vie. And hopefully you guys can see. Actually, let's go ahead and switch to the other camera here, and hopefully this will be a little bit better. I don't know. Let me reposition this a little bit. Like this. And then let's go down like this. And I should be able to see all right that way. You can see in the box now. All right. So we've got the standard, 1/2-inch foam. Not too bad. Throw that under there. And then it comes in a lot of pieces. So I was kind of hoping it's going to be a little bit easier build. So we have a European plug, which does me no good whatsoever. Zip ties. A small piece of sample filament. This is Sprout PJ3 PLA, it says. We have an assembly manual. So nice, simple, easy thing to do. A USB reader for a micro SD card. Have that. Here we have the display, which is a pretty small. I wonder if this is going to be touchscreen. I don't know. I don't really know anything about this. So there's the little itty bitty screen there. That's using one of those ribbon cables that use that little flat connector. I'm not really a fan of those. I feel like they aren't very secure. Here we have one of the carriages and a belt. Here we have, the spool holder, which is actually metal. That's interesting, because pretty much all the Crowdy ones and even the Gearbest are all that piece of like the Durlin rod, and it already has the nuts and bolts already on there to attach it to the frame. The Z motor is underneath. That's interesting. It kind of tells you that that's where the Z motor is, way down in there. There it is. It's got the bracket already on there. Here we have a set of, oh, ball head Allen wrenches. Very nice. Now we have the Z coupler. Wow, this is really a lot of pieces. Bed springs, bed knobs, which is kind of the crappy little ones. Here we have one of the end stops. Oh, yeah. Jeez. Okay, here's the aluminum heat bed. It's using a connector on the back. So all that soldered clicks into there. And then it has its own glass top with a build mat on it. So that is also interesting. We're going to set this to the side because that's going to be one of the last things we need. Piece of 2020. Another piece of 2020. Oh, I can take that out. There we go to the juicy parts. Alright, so what is the best way to pull this out? Okay, well here's the Z rod. Again, it's nice that they encapsulate this in some plastic, just because they usually do pre-grease some of these, and also you just don't want anything to get on it. We got some 2040. And I can't get that right yet. So here's the bottom. And this is something I am excited about this printer. Is that, this part is generally assembled. Alright. So yeah, here's the bottom of the printer. Check it out. Electronics mounted underneath. Power supply mounted underneath. I like it. It's got some feet on there. That's not too bad right there. So, and then we've got it connected here to the extruder, which is a very different design. I mean, it's using a 40-40 fan right here with a side blower on there. That's how they have that. That's very different. Huh. Well, we'll set this down here to the side as well, because that'll be coming in a little bit. And then we have the Z or extruder and the X motor on this carriage here. Everything's on there. I like this anodized red. It's very different than like the blackout of all these printers. Like I really kind of like that. X limit switch is on there. Huh. That is not too bad. And it's using we have a filament out sensor right here. That's interesting. It's a real little connector. IR sensor in there, but that's right on the extruder. And this is a custom molded extruder. Look at this. That is a custom molded extruder. I've never seen one of these. It's beefy. It's using one of those big heavy bed springs, which is nice. That'll definitely keep some grip on it. And they're using their own. This is a very different gear in here. The hob gear is also very different. Huh. There are some definite changes in comparison to the mainstream printers that are out there right now. So we've got another piece of 2040 in here. And if I was a betting man, that would seem like... Oh, wait, nope. No, I'm not a betting man. There's more down in these doggone deep grooves. So here we have the Y idler. And here we have the M5x20s. We've got a nozzle wrench, some M4s. Man, I like how they put it in the one pocket, but it is super deep to get in there. And we've got some M5x6 mils. And now, I'm pretty confident that's it. So, also a nice thing here, this box is reinforced with some pretty heavy-duty cardboard in the corners, which is nice to see because printers come a long way from China, and I can't always blame the Chinese manufacturers for shoddy packing if like USPS just like launches it around or DHL just launches it. Like there's nothing you can do about that. This is, there's actually there's still support material on this thing. That's funny. Let me rip that off real quick. Pair of flush cutters here. Yeah, there's still some support material on the 3D printed fan shroud. I wonder if anybody's remixed this yet. There, just a little bit was on there, but that's just kind of funny. Almost could have made this supportless if they would have done a little bit more tuning on it. It's very interesting. Again, they're using that standard, smaller, hot end that like everyone's using these days, which I'm not a huge fan of. But and they're using a 30 by 30 millimeter fan to cool it, so it's a smaller fan, like E3D style fan on there. And this is super loose, you guys can see that. So I guess I'll have to square that up a little bit. Here we have the gigantic ribbon cable, which again, I really don't like these. They feel fragile to me. And I don't know, I'm just afraid I'm going to break it or something. And here's that big old bed connector. This is a 2, 4, 6, 8 pin. 8-pin connector to go onto the bed. We've got, oh man, that's gonna be a pain. The micro SD card reader is in the freaking back. Man, oh, that's gonna be such a pain, at least for me, just because the way I have all my printers are all facing outwards. I'm gonna have to get an adapter for this probably, because that's just gonna be an absolute pain. All right, well, let's all right, let's just dive right into this, I guess, right? So the very first step is to go ahead and throw on the 2040s onto it. So if I'm looking at it from the front, it is going to be the Z motor is on the left side of the printer, so this goes there, and I need some M5s. I'll tighten down that gantry here in a little bit when I get towards the bed. I just let me get this main piece built, and I will use, since they gave ball head Allen wrenches, I will go ahead and use those for now until I get annoyed of them. Willies, what's up? There we go. So this over here. So we're going to put the Z uprights on this, and again, it is like the exact same design as both the Ender 3 and the A10, using 2040 for the main frame at the bottom, and then going up into a 2040 for the gantry. Gives you a little more X stability, does not increase your Y stability, because it's it'd be different if it was 4040. But that's the only real advantage you would have if you switch to 4040 versus the 2040. Alright. So I mean, if any of you guys in the audience, any of you guys actually tried this machine? Anything I should be aware of? Because it literally came to me on Friday, so yesterday is when it showed up. And I really wanted to get this started right away because I really wanted to print with it. It took so long to get here, but I would be interested to see if anybody actually has it. It seems lately a lot of the things I've been building other people have already done, which is great because I can learn from their mistakes and their triumphs. It really helped out with the Mark III clone. There's several people in the audience that had built it and was familiar with the firmware, so they really helped me out with that. Yeah, I don't know what to expect from Alfawise and this for this printer. Do-do-do-do-do. There's 1, 2, and we'll torque those a little bit. All right. So there's the uprights. Bam! 50% done. Do like that there. All right. So then step 2 is we're going to get this covered 2020 rail, because this is the X piece. So the extruder carriage is going to, or the hotting carriage, I say, the X carriage is going to traverse this piece. Fire in a hole. So yeah, this is, it's designed the same on both sides. There's holes on either side, and it gets kind of finicky because you have to slide it into the back of this in order to lock it in. Like so. Which one has the... Oh, they don't have that in this one. That doesn't make much sense. That can't be right. Yeah, it can't be right. Yeah, okay, yeah, that wasn't right. It was this one here. Because, why do I say can't be right? The 3 holes. Okay, yeah, so this is reamed out right there, a little bit bigger, to fit over the head of the nut. And those in there are tapped. Yeah. So now we're using 26s. So that's these little suckers here. So 2 of these. 1 of these to fit it. And if these are not the most finicky things in the world, I don't know what is, because they are an absolute pain to put in my opinion. I mean, at least they give you all the holes and everything you need to do it, but they are just an absolute pain. Ooh, we're getting a crowd in here, 37. Hello, everybody. Of course, this isn't long enough. Oh well. We'll make do, Shane. When you do this, you got to make sure you try and keep it as straight as possible, because yeah, you don't want your x-axis to be askew just from you putting it together. Why are you not threading in? There we go. Okay. That one. Yeah, all right. So there is the X attached on there, onto the Z carriage. Step 3 is we're going to go ahead and put the extruder carriage onto it. So it's going to go on like so. Got to make sure you untwist this cable. I'm just going to go on like this, like that. All right? Yeah. I gotta say, that red and black, that looks so nice. Man, that does look really nice. Adjust the tension with the hexagonal nuts. It's actually really good. There's no playing that at all. That's really good. Yeah, that's nice and tight right off the bat. I like it. Alright, so now we need this piece. So this is actually our X idler. Thought it was the Y idler. Then we need this. This is the other side of our Y carriage. The part of the Z carriage. The Z guys. And okay, so if we're going to set this where they have it in the picture, like that maybe. Will you stay? Yep. And then that should come off the front, shouldn't it? Yeah. That's on the... It is on the front. So it's on the front facing the back. And then this goes like that. Maybe? This is most particular on how this goes on. It looks like in the picture that it's not together like that. It's not. So this goes on the front of it through this hole. And how does the back connect? Oh, it's a third hole for that. Alright, alright. I understand now. So we're using these two holes for it. And it's the clear as mud directions. You know how it goes. Nope, that's the wrong one. Bingo. And these will get tensioned down later once I actually tension the belt on there. And this one goes on the back. Like so. And then it gets two of these screws. Through here. Maybe, nope, that's the wrong one. I wonder if I did the wrong one. Nope, that's the right one, because those line up. It's always the question, is it going to line up or not? Maybe, maybe. Probably should go and get my bit set to make my life easier, but you know, I like torturing myself when it comes to screws. Bolt, I should say. Sorry, bolts. Okay, I'm just going to do this one up here. Yeah, so that's a very particular way to put a carriage on a machine, but hey, if it ends up working out, I won't care. Right, and there's the latter part of that. Cooking with Crisco now, guys. Cooking with Crisco. Alright, we're on to step 5. And for step 5, we're looping on the belt. Oh, you have to zip tie it. That's going to be fun. I don't really tell you any information about that. Come on, guys. So, if we're going to be going this way, make the loop like this. How much space do you need? About that. I've got some zip ties. Looks like there's double zip tying it, so let's make a little more space. I'll do one just to hold it. Alfawise is a Gearbest brand. I actually don't know that. I thought they were their own deal. I honestly didn't think someone like Gearbest would make their own stuff. Seemed like far too much work, to be honest. Alright, 2 zip ties on there. So this is definitely a one-up that Crowdy and G-Tech have, is that these are all they've got those brass couplers on them, and the belts are already to size, which is really nice to see. Minnesota, what's up? Yeah, CNX, if you figure that out, dude, please let me know. I'd be very interested in that information. I'm going to loosen up these because I want it to be as close as possible to the end of the extrusion while I tighten this down, and then we'll go from there. One, and there's 2. We can snip those. Snip, snip. Now we can go ahead and tighten the axis. The idler we can tighten. There we go. Whoops, I didn't do that right. That was on one of the raised parts, so it's not quite tight enough though. Was it cold up here in Minnesota? I would never have thunk. Never been there either, so. Oh no. And that is smooth. That is super smooth. I'm going to cut off some of this extra here. That's nice and smooth. I like that. I gotta make sure I'm not twisting this thing all to craziness here. Oh, it's going that way here, so it's going to go like this. Yeah, like that. Alright. Alright, where are we at then? The snap. I have not tried the snap maker. If you send me one, I will try it. Alright, so step 6 is put the gantry on. So we're just going to take it like this and slide it on like that. I would say that's smooth running. Yes, that is. Alright. Why did they do that before you put the motor on? That seems a little silly to me. We'll put this top beam on now. So you go on like this. And we need these other 4 screws. It's a Gearbest brand. That is interesting. I did not know that. They didn't advertise it that way. So this is truly them trying to keep up with the market with their own brand, even though they're a reseller. I guess, I mean, Amazon's doing the same thing. You got Amazon Basics like everything nowadays. Amazon Basic cables, Amazon Basic baby products. We're using Amazon Basic wipies right now. For the baby, I mean, it just, I guess that's what it's come to in the digital marketplace these days, right? Why not become a reseller, see what sells well, copy it, and then sell it at the same price or less than everybody else. Amazon Basic stuff is cheaper than most everybody else. Quality's not always there, but, you know, it's just, that's a very interesting thing to know, that this is a Gearbest branded printer. They don't have a single logo on it either. For Amazon Basics, their name is in the doggone product name. Or in the line, I should say. We're just attaching the top of the gantry on there. Make that nice and stable. Now this, I need to find a square. Because that middle gantry is super loose. Let me, they don't talk about that anywhere in here as I can see. So let me get a square real quick before I get any further along here. I gotta go under the table, over the river, into the box, to get up the compound square. Oh, it's easier to go under than it is to go around, especially with the microphone. All right, so these are that size. This is going to be a little more difficult than I thought it was going to be. The wheels are in the way. I wonder if I can do it from this way then. Like that. Make sure this side is square. think that's good. I'll just crank those down a little bit. Make sure these don't go anywhere. Last thing I want is crooked objects. That'd be kind of hilarious though at the same time. Look, I made the first crooked printer. On purpose. Alright, so there's that. What them kids to bed? All mine have just gotten to bed a little while ago. So where am I at now? Now we're going to go ahead and assemble 5. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put the Z motor on this sucker. Oh, I wonder, was that supposed to go in the inside or the outside? I need to look at pictures real quick. That was supposed to go on the inside. Shoot. I'll take the top apart in a minute. Let me get this Z motor on first. That was a whoopsie moment. That's alright. We can fix it. This guy just goes right here like this. And we're using last 2 M4s. I thread right into the frame. All the other ones do. I just hope that's straight though. Let's see here. Lay this down. Tighten this one down. Okay. The motor's on there. Before I do the Z-rod, I need to save this cable. All I did was I forgot to put this inside the frame. It also didn't say that in directions, so. And these printers are pretty easy to put together. I mean, if you can put together IKEA furniture or Lego, you can put these printers together these days. I'm stuck. No wiggle room with that. One, 2. Those I don't have to take off the whole way. Maybe I do. I'm trying to cheat the system here. This needs to come up and over like that, and I can put all this back together. That one. Almost there. Sorry about that. It's a little hiccup on my part. Oh, come on. There we go. Let's see, what's going on here? Yeah, we have ever built a printer straight through with like, oh yeah, this went perfectly. I always screw something up. It's the way it goes. This also, I gotta say, dudes, this is like the shortest ever PTFE tube of like maybe 10 inches, 12 max. It is way shorter than the other ones, which is good. There's less slop then, but it is definitely something to note. Alright, so now we go ahead and we can finish up the Z. So we gotta put the coupler. So it's just a little flex coupler that we use in lots and lots of our printers, but it's only a single point. Oh no, there's dual point. Okay, it's just way off. Let's use the flat side of that. And you also got to remember which way you put this in. There's a 8mm side and a 5mm side, so that you can actually get it on there. And don't crank those down too hard, because I have stripped those out before. It's no fun. No fun at all. I actually just did it on the Mark III build on the Bondtech gears. Thankfully, I had a second set come in. Otherwise, I might have been up the crick. And if I have to go through my stuff and see if I had one to fit. I do hate when they do this, because they don't leave like a tab on opening this. They just kind of shrink lack the ever-mudding love out of it. There's the end of it. There it is. I mean, anybody's ever tried to put saran wrap on a bowl and it flip on you because like a breeze comes through or something, you know what I mean, and you'll be equally as mad as I. Go on this side. And that just spins right down into there. Oh, that is greasy. And we can. That's the wrong size. That one in. That one in. All right. Man, I got a little bit of grease on my fingers now. What filament is on my Ender 3? Nothing. Oh, this right here? This is the Maker Box marble that came, I forget the brand. There's something in my boot. Piece of zip tie. I forget the brand it came in. That came in the November box. I just filmed that before this. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so now we got the Z. 2 screws do not much tight. You read that? I'm sorry, man, but the Chinglish just absolutely kills me sometimes. Like, how do they not have a single English speaker that can read through these things and say, hey, this isn't how English is actually spoken, guys? I don't get it sometimes. I just really don't. And those are not fully tightened as they shouldn't be to allow that to kind of play just a smidgen. Okay, so now it's saying we're going to spin this back this way. We're going to attach the display. Although I'm going to cable it before I do the attachment, just because cabling can be a pain sometimes. And look at this cable. Look at this. It's like 3 feet too much. Oh, great giggity, man. I tell ya, it's pretty funny right there. And they did take a change in display. It's on the left, not the right. So they're definitely trying their best not to completely rip off everybody else. Alright, so there's the display attached with its 12 feet of cable. So next we've got the bed and the spool to put on, it looks like. Oh no, I still have to do, I skipped a couple steps. Whoopsies. Step 9 is the spool holder, which we'll throw that on here real quick. I'll use it for the demo, but then once I throw it on the shelf, it's going to have to come off, because my shelves are not tall enough for these goofy spool holders to be on the top of the printers. Going through with right now. Well, I mean, to be honest, nobody should buy a printer from any other than Amazon and expect customer service. Especially any of the Chinese brands. Customer service is not really a Chinese concept. I lived in China for 3 years. It really isn't. Like, it's their way is right, and you're obviously wrong because you're an idiot. It's honestly how they think. Like, in many different ways that I see that stuff happen there. So that was a very common thing. Alright, so now we need to get the end stop on here. About 12 millimeters up is where we put this on. So let me find how to measure 12 millimeters. No funny jokes, guys. I have a ruler under the desk. And whoop, there's a lot of cables around here. Hey, here's a little ruler. There it is. Oh. There we go. Whew. All right. That's 12 millimeters right there. Not amazing. But it's going off the wheel? Are you kidding me? Wow, that is chintzy. I'm not gonna lie. The wheel is what's triggering the end stop. That can't be right. Yeah, that's right. Man, why wouldn't they just put it here so that the metal comes in contact with it? I don't know, man. That is some craziness right there. So let's go ahead and wire this stuff up. We've got the Z end stop. We've got the Z motor. And the Z guys. And we've got, let's see, X end stop. These end stops are nice and easy to get to. On the crowding machines, they're really not. So that is a pleasant surprise. It's the extruder motor. And we've got, this should be the X motor here. Yep. And we've got the E sensor. So there's all of that in there. So yeah, it's okay. It's a little tight on that end stop there. But now let's move this Z up. Up out of the way, up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Alright, so we'll get put the gantry in the middle. Let's open up this bed and take a look at it. And it's just saran wrapped. No bubble wrap going on here. So it's a big, thick piece of glass. with a, everyone calls it a build tack type surface. It's really not. But it's just got that, yeah, it's just a big piece of glass. It's got that stick-on build mat. So this is probably going to grip like nobody else. So really need to be careful with the first layer on this one, because I have screwed up some stuff before because I wasn't being careful enough with the first layer, or being generous enough, I guess. Alright, we're going to put these beds together real quick, and then that'll be about it, guys. So I already see that I'll have to print out the better knobs, which I have them on the, these knobs are the same that are on, which printer? Oh, they're the same that's on the Gearbest, because I did swap those out. But they are using the Creality Orange, where you at? The Creality Orange springs. Those are, I've only seen those on Creality printers, but I guess since you can shop at your own warehouse, they're able to buy stuff from there, you know. Why not use the Creality stuff? But if you're going to use the Creality stuff, at least get the new big wheels. Like, all the new ones are coming out that way. The Ender 3 has the big wheels on it, which are really, really nice, if I have to say. Oh my god, this big stupid ribbon cable is going to kill me. Alright, so here's number 3. Before I tighten all these down. And there's 4. Hey Darren, what's up? Just gonna tighten these way down for now. Get them popping out from underneath. Last one, and I'm losing my microphone because I stepped on the cable. As usual. Oh man, I gotta find a better solution for this stupid microphone. And then we'll put the build plate on. We got the big connector. Just goes like that. That's a nice secure connection. Like, that's always a big concern with the cheaper 3D printers is, now, how good is the heated bed connection? Because that can wear very fast on you if you're not careful. Alright, so the last thing that I need to change is I need to do something with this gargantuan cable. I'm gonna kid you not. Look at this. You guys can't. Let's see here. Let's do this. Look how long this cable is. Look at this. There's an extra 2 feet here. Like, good gravy. Oh, sorry to hear that, Brian. My Ender 2, I loved that thing until I gave it away. That was an awesome printer. Versus printer. No real issues. Nice, Mix. Thank you for that. Yeah, so I did the Uncle Jesse fix on Thingiverse as well, and but I haven't been on Thingiverse today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and just bundle this up as best I can, and we're gonna zip tie it to the frame. Which one zip tie is not long enough, and of course I should have prepped the zip tie before I did that part. Idiot. Okay, come on. Okay. We're going to do 2 zip ties on this, 2 sets, just because I don't want this coming apart on me here. That'll just make me angry. I'm not pinching it anywhere either. That's the only thing I'm trying to be really careful of, is not pinching it. Just trying to control its largeness. Okay. Well, guys, there's the Alfawise U30. Let me clean up, and we'll see what's on the SD card. I'm not going to use their sample filament because that's not going to last probably. This is kind of usual. So I'm really bummed that they put the reader in the back. So I'm going to have to go ahead and buy another one of those micro SD card to regular SD card adapters. Let me make sure I don't need to switch the power. It looks like it's a switching power supply. Nope, it's not. So change that to 115, which is a nice little switch right there on the side. Aluminum brackets holding in. I mean, this thing is actually really solid. There's one 3D printed part, and that's the fan shroud right here for your part cooling fan. That's it. The rest of it is 1/8 or 3/16 inch, 3mm. So 1/8 inch. Is that quarter? 1/8? Yeah. So 3mm thick aluminum all around, except for the fan shroud. Obviously, the extruder here is injection molded, which is good to see. But yeah. All right. Let's. I think I have power cord here still. I've been keeping one nearby. And I will reposition you guys to be a little bit closer to the action. Hey! No magic smoke. This kit is 180 bucks. There's a link to it for Gearbest down below if you're curious to check it out. And if people buy from the Gearbest links, I get more printers so I can test out more things. So they've been kind of on me about that because I don't really push Gearbest links. I don't push any affiliate linkage actually, except at the end of my videos I say, hey, there's affiliate links down the bottom. Have fun. There's a lot of other YouTubers that really push affiliate linkage, especially for Gearbest. They also get a lot more printers than I do. You know them if you know them. If you don't, you don't. I'm not going to call people out. But yeah, so if anybody buys using that, fantastic. But let's see if this thing even does anything yet. So we have move head. Okay, so if we home. Okay, that works. Now, everything goes the right direction, but the Z is ungodly slow. My goodness gracious me. I don't know what the sample print is. I haven't got that far yet. I'm going to put this on this side here. Hopefully that carriage clears it. I'm just going to get the bed level first before I do anything. Wow, it's still pushing in the bed, and those springs are down pretty tight already. I'm losing my slipper. Let's see, can we disable the motors? There's an unlock little button there that disables the motors. Interesting. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work. It's going to have to go right here in the front piece, right there, I think. Okay. And then tighten all these things way down. Why is it moving the end stop though? Okay, so we're clear of everything now. Why is this one way off? Solid. Maybe I just took it that far. So I'm a big, I eyeball a lot when I level the beds. It's just the way I like to do it. I'll get a piece of paper out in a minute once I heat it up, but eyeballing is usually the best solution in the beginning. Almost there. Alright, so let's go back. What is the ad block mention? Uncle Jesse did one. It's called Ghost. Let me look it up real quick, actually, while I'm sitting here, because I have it enabled. Ghostery. Ghostery. It's a Chrome extension. Basically, just install it, and it helps with the Thingiverse caching problems. Let's go preheating. PLA. 260. Finally! They don't heat up to 180. Ugh. That always killed me on the Crowley machines. I think they heat up to 180. I think maybe the newer ones are 190 now. That just always bugged me that the firmware heat up such a low temperature for PLA. I'm sorry, it's not that low. Ah, yeah, smell that first time heat up. And let's find a piece of paper. Got business cards. Those are too thick, though. Thick, 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 thick. There's a piece of scrap. Use to level this on another printer. Well, Brian, I'm glad that I entertain somebody aside from my children. You know, dad jokes and all only go so far. All right, well, let's go back here. Let's get some film that you guys can see. So if it's a black background, white would be fantastic. Oh, I've got a Ziltech white here. All right, we can use Ziltech white. Feeds in very nicely. Oh, there was black filament in this before. Alright, well, let's go to files. Alright, there's a Benchy 30mm, a bird, small fox, Zio Shang 01, and Zidane 01. So let's do the 30mm 01 and open. Are you sure you want to start printing? Yes. Okay, thank you, Windows. Oh, they use Kira. It's doing a really, really bad raft. I'll let it see what it does because it's only a small print. So I bring you guys any closer here. It's pretty quiet, to be honest, if I pick it up. Really quiet if I pick it up. You're just hearing the vibrations through the machine, through the table, I should say. Yeah, that stuff, that sticks to that bed like, whoo, man. This is just a really bad brim on it. I usually do both. I'll level on a cold bed and then double check a hot bed. It doesn't change that much, to be honest. It really doesn't. That's looking pretty bad. So let's hit stop. Stop the job. Yep. Alright. Easy enough to come off. Alright, let's go ahead and we're going to back to preheat. PLA, make sure it stays hot. Back. Move bed. Home everything. And we'll disable the motors. Almost there. Good enough for now. Yeah, it's off by just a smidgen. That one might be a little too tight though. Again, I don't want to be too tight on this bed because I know this thing is going to absolutely just hold on to whatever you put on it. They really make these things pretty noob proof, to be honest. Almost there. Why does, oh, so riddle me this, why did they always put freaking rafts on their test prints? I really don't understand that. Yes, I want to start printing. Thank you, Windows. How long was the build? I mean, aside from me BSing around, an hour? Less than that? Oh, that's better. So a little bit too close here. A little too close back that corner. It's honestly not a bad build time. So, I mean, yes, getting prints off this, but if you use this sucker, you should have no problem. And I can show that once this print finishes. So we'll do this one first and see how it goes. But it did not come with a paint scraper, so that is another kind of different thing about this. I'm waiting for printers to come start standard with this sucker, man. This thing should be in every printer. It is the world's greatest thing. Nah, feeder gauges are not. Paul, I did not. This was sent to me by Gearbest to check out. Took about 3 weeks to get to me. A lot of people ask in the lead time and how long it takes to get something from Gearbest. But yeah, from date shipped to me, about 3 weeks. I did print guns. I've got lots of them. But they're props. On my print tool, this right here, I've got a video, my favorite 3D printing tool. Look it up. You don't have to like watch the whole thing because it's like 9 minutes long of me blubbering because I'm long-winded, as most of you know if you watch my videos. No, this is the greatest thing ever. Look how thin that is. So this actually is this is used for sculpting. Actually, is what these originally were intended for. But then someone got the bright idea to market them to 3D printers. They're super thin. They're way safer. I've actually thrown every other paint scraper I have away. There's no reason to have anything other than this tool, and I have a longer one right here. So this is a longer one right here, equally flat. But this is really good for getting off really, really big parts on the big printers, especially the Tivo Tornado, because if you get your layer height right on that, this should just slide right under there real easily and get all the way around it, and that'll help you free up that really, really big part. A prop means that it's fake. It can't do anything. It is a replica. So here's the RoboCop 9mm in carbon fiber. This is just a prop, a replica. Does not have no functioning parts whatsoever. I need to reorganize my prints, I think, because they're starting to fall. I've got the Wingman. I've got Major's Thermopic pistol from Ghost in the Shell. Love that thing. The build size. That is an excellent question, Paul. Let's look it up. Let's see. It looks to be about like a standard 200. Doesn't say in the documentation. Doesn't say on the box. It's not my box, so let's look it up here. Let's see, Alfawise U30. It's right on sale right now for $180, $179. It's a good price for a printer, especially of this size. It is 220 by 220 by 250. All right, that's a little different there. And they code that as a large build volume. I'd call that, you know, slightly larger than normal, because the normal is 200 by 200 by 180. Is a pretty standard size. With the power supply, quick assembly, only 1 hour needed. Well, it did take the hour, you know. Probably because I did a little faster, but wasn't that bad. Aluminum alloy construction, powerful heat bed. It did heat very fast, I will give it that. 100-degree max, heat temperature, 250 max, nozzle, PLA, ABS, wood filament, etc. There's a, oh, they can download the firmware. Let's take a look what that looks like. They do have a Facebook group as well. I'm liking the filament run out deal. That's not too bad. Let's see, where's this firmware pack at? They give a link. Download the firmware, but I don't see it. Now it says power resume and filament out, so that's kind of the two things. Touch controller. We've got an explosive drawing there of it. Battle with Cura, rep your host 753, and so on. So this is the file size 360 kilobytes, but where is the doggone link? Oh, you have to request the firmware. You can't just download it. That's interesting. Maybe I'll do that later just to see how it goes. I'll join their support group. Oh, I'm already joined it. Look at that. Didn't even realize that. That's interesting. You have to request the firmware. You can't just download it. So far, it's not doing too bad. What do you guys think? There's a little bit of slop in this model. You can definitely see that. I like the different approach that they took in doing it, having these 2040s kind of stand it up a little bit higher. I don't know, I kind of like that a little bit. They're using 40 millimeter here right across. So they're using 40 millimeter instead of 20, which is better than the it's better than Ender 3. They're using only 20 millimeter, so it's half the times. You get more slop. And the same thing on the Gearbest A10. They're using only the 20 millimeter side, so it definitely is going to be a more rigid machine than those ones are. It seems pretty solid to me, to be honest. Not too bad so far. Cooling fans going. Can't really feel the airflow from it. I'm not feeling anything for airflow wise on that, even though it is going. This model's kind of funky. Maybe let's try the benchy. A little more accurate of how this thing can do. So alright, let's see how hard it is to get this off here. Make sure you guys can see all the. Oh, let me on it. Come here, come up here. Well, it's hot, so it's a little harder to get off, but that takes it right off. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see what this benchy looks like. Failed to read the file. Please try again. There we go. So that the raft didn't turn out too bad, but you can kind of see if you guys will be able to see this. You see right there? See how that's oblonged out there? That was the start point for this thing. You can see it underneath too. Now it's oblonged right. Wait, where am I at? Where are you guys at? Right here. How it's oblong there. Sorry, it's out of focus. Focus on my hand. It's very strange. Oh, of course, it's going to do a damn raft as well. Chunk of filament in there. Get out of the way. There it is. There's no purge in this setup in this printer, so that'll be something to check out and to add to my start G code. I wonder if Simplify 3D has a profile for this yet. That does make me wonder. So let's go to help, configuration assistance, a wolf, any cubic, hair wolf, no Alfawise. So let's wonder what the Facebook group, if anybody's posted a profile in there. Vase mode, card reader. I don't know what that's about. Let's search U30. And I want it in the files. Facebook search sucks. U30 profile. Cura. No one cares about Cura. Let's just search S3D. Might just copy the Ender profile. That'd probably be all right. Stupid Facebook search. I don't like you. I don't like you. Control F, U30. No, they're both right there. Of course they are. Alright, let's Google it. U30 3D profile. I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna have to make a profile. No one has one. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Alright, finish your stupid raft. Come on now. It's a little trippy how crooked that is. Let me see if I can adjust for this. That's a little bit better, right? Sorry about that. So I mean, there in the back, there's a grommet on this big chassis. So it's got everything covered for the power. Again, it's got the board in there. I really wonder, what's the board in this? Don't fall off, please. Oh, it's built-in drivers. That's no fun. It looks like it's a Gen MKS base. Let's see if I can't see it in here. I can't see the title on it. Oh, there is a MOSFET in here for the bed, it looks like. It's some kind of MKS base board. Has to be. I'm not seeing any super identifying markers. It's well insulated, ventilated. There's no fans on it anywhere because it's completely perforated doohickey in there. Oh, the grate. So and you get down onto a raft, you're never going to get that great first layer. I mean, it's not bad, but definitely there's gaps in it. Three perimeters. Yeah. So you can go here to the settings, looks like. We can change our extruder temperature, our bed temperature, our fan speed, print speed, and the flow. We can change all that. We can pause, we can stop here on the touch screen. It's not a bad touch screen, I mean it works. But it's definitely like, you definitely have to like give it a good press. You definitely got to give it, using your nail. I don't really have big fingernails, but it definitely works doing that way. Yeah, I'll probably use the Ender 3 as a beginning point. Yeah, I see how to make it extra to do if you want to go the other side, but I think it's just silly. Like, just make it to fit on one side. Like, why do you need that level modularity in a kit like this? Like, I don't really get it. I don't care what side it's on. That's just me, though. I do wish that these spool holders were kicked at an angle like the old school Crowdy ones are, because I like those so much better than these straight up and down ones. I really don't like them. That fan should be 100%. We're going to change that fan. Oh, now it's at 100% now. Still not feeling much from it. This might be a good candidate for a blower, or just replace that fan with something a little more powerful. A screw came out on the gantry on the right side. Huh? Lefty and righty's happy. Yeah, there are. It's got, you know, do not touch heated bed, keep hands away from moving parts. Which, I mean, isn't that like... Look at my i3 here. The i3 MK3 has the warning label, a heat label, do not print directly on the surface, and a heartbeat. So I guess meaning like you could get shocked symbol. I don't know about that. $280-watt power supply. Oh, the size is on it. 220 by 250. Okay. I didn't think it was on there. Fused power switch. That's not a screw. That's a that's just a piece of the aluminum that came out once I screwed the thing in. There's no screws in from this side. They're coming in from this side to the front of the printer. But thanks for checking that out, guys. Yeah, that picture right there, that's brutal, man. Could you imagine your hand in that? And this one, it's on fire. The bed's on fire on this one. I just can't. That cracks me up, man. I wonder when 3D printers are going to come with PEI sheets instead of this matte. I like PEI so much better. Okay, this thing has like 12 bottom layers. What in God's name? Is this a solid Benchy? Because it's really starting to curl now because there's so much plastic in there. It's not cooling it fast enough. Not Daniel, but thank you for checking. Thank you for like noticing that, dude. Because it very well could have been a problem. Seriously, this Benchy is solid. It's still doing solid layers. I have I have 4 flex plates now. I have the Gearbest. I have the PI stick-on Prusa one. I have the powder-coated Prusa one. And then I have the Build Tack one that has Build Tack on one side, PEI on the other. I normally use the PEI, honestly. I print on the Build Tack not even once. I did, if you can see, you probably can't see it, but I've done the bed leveling test on it once, and that was it. I didn't do anything else other than that. Yeah, the back corner of this Benchy right here is really starting to curl up because we're 2% in, 13 minutes, and it's still doing solid infill. What in the world? All right, let's get this up by 3D. And we're going to go ahead and make a profile. So take the Ender 3, we're going to save as a new, and we'll call this the Alfawise U30. Extruder multiplier, tune that down to 90. Keep retraction all the same on that. The only thing I'll have to verify is the... but this one does have a start offset, which the Alfawise did not have one. There's no origin offset on you, sir. Okay, now we're starting infill. Okay. 10 layers in. Jeez Louise. Oh, I need to edit this, and we need to go 220 by 250. Oh, so it's the same size as the Ender 3. So I don't really get where they get the larger build size from, because if it's the exact same as the Ender 3 and the A10, I don't really see the largeness of it. Yeah, this is a stock model off of the SD card. So I did get, so Gunner, when I did buy my, that stuff, I did get this sheet right here. So I'll switch over, you can see a little better here. We can chat while that thing's going. I did get this sheet here, but when I bend it, it stays bent. It's kind of hilarious. It's not spring steel at all. So if you were to bend a piece off of it, it doesn't go back to form. So I was really mad that I spent the 18 bucks on this. Is yours actual spring steel? Because this one, I mean, look, I just bent that all, look at that, I bent that all the way down. Kind of want to buy another one from BuildTech, or another Gearbest one, because the Gearbest one is, that one's nice. I like that one. Things stick on that really nicely. Yeah, this 40 millimeter fan isn't really moving all that much air, to be honest. I'm going to move this printer a little bit over so I can actually stand somewhere where you guys can actually see me. Because my other this other camera right here is just too big, I think. Like, I'm way the heck over here on the side of my room. Oh, man. Does heat have it go back? I don't know. You know what? Let's see what happens. So I'll use my original Mark III because the magnet's a little bit better than the clone one. So let's boot this up. We'll I mean, the Mark III does pull it down almost all the way. There's definitely a gap there. Let's get the bed up to, like, I don't know, something stupid, like 90 or something. And there's definitely creases in it. It's not pulling it all the way down. I know, come on. Settings, temperature, bed. Let's just go to 90. See if that does anything for it. back leg. Oh, it's still got some clearance back there. It's alright. There. For you nervous Nellies out there. The room is too small. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I can almost touch. I'm like, let's see, about an inch from touching this other rack. And these are 20-inch deep racks. So yeah, my room is small. Very small. You guys are so nervous. My goodness. It's got an inch now. It's fine. There's plenty of space there. Oh man, you guys crack me up, man. Oh jeez. I kind of want to play with something else while I'm here waiting, but I'm doing another video on it, so I don't kind of want to spoil it. I don't know. I might live stream it. Haven't decided yet. I've got Elegoo, the electronics company, sent me their most complete starter kit. This is the Mega 256 2560 project, and it's got, I mean, everything here. I've always wanted to like really learn how to do Arduino projects, and I have had one of these on my wish list for a long time, but no one's ever got one for me. And they asked me if I would like one to see if I could do anything with it, so I said yes. So I don't know if I should stream this or just do a video. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do a stream? I mean, I'm not good at this stuff, so like the video, like the stream could be like hours long of me fiddling with how to figure this out. I really don't know how it'll go, but I'm really interested to learn because there's like all kinds of modules in here, and there's buttons, and you can make game controllers. There's a fan you can use. Like there's a lot of things that you could do, and there's a whole disk of projects that you can work with. So I don't know. If you guys think a live stream would be good, I'll do a live stream. If you think just a video of me showing what's inside and then doing our project, you know, it can be shorter, but like the live stream would be hours long. It might not be the most exciting thing in the world because there's nothing like moving. It's all going to be just code. And the problem I also having right now is that my laptop has the weird NVIDIA driver bug where Streamlabs OBS and regular OBS can't see the screen. So I need to, it works on my desktop because I recorded the Fusion 360 tutorial for the last video on the desktop, which is now complete and looks sexy AF. But this one I can't get the screen recording or window capture to work. So it's a stupid NVIDIA bug. It's bugging me. It's bugging me. I'm funny. Yeah, I have a couple Raspberry Pis that I play with here and there, but mainly just Octoprint stuff. And I've done a RetroPie. I was gonna do a video on the RetroPie, but I ended up not. I have a bunch of B footage that I filmed with like the controllers that I did, everything like that. But I ended up not making the video on how to make a RetroPie. There's a slightly illegal part in there, but I don't know. Maybe I'll revisit it one day, but I use the RetroPie in our little game room upstairs. I have that up there, and I'll play like old school Zelda and stuff like that every now and then. It was really cool in the beginning, but now it's kind of lost its novelty. So I think maybe making a game cabinet for it would be a little better, but I don't have the weight in my shipment. So I also now have like 16 printers, so a lot of these need to go if I was to do something like that. And that kind of makes it hard because I like using the machines for a long, long time to actually see if they're worthwhile buying. Woo, that's hot. All right. Ooh, holy Jesus, mother, that's hot. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Geez, that is like, ooh. Holy God. I need gloves or something. Because it's bare metal. It's really freaking hot. Problem is, like, even if I was gonna flex it, like after getting a print and flexing it off, it's still never gonna go back to its original form. Like now it has like a crease in the middle. Now it's got that goofy one. Maybe that did work. Oh, in the back it didn't. It did in the front, but in the back there's still a little bit of gap there. Man, geez, wow, that was hot. Let's reset you and turn that off, because that was stupid. Man. Hey Thomas, what's up, man? Casey Jones full size. Dude, that Casey Jones mask, I was pretty stoked about that. That was a fun project. I got it right here. I love this one. I have the back plate made. I just need to get out the wife's sewing machine so that I can sew all the loops and everything. And I printed also sliders for the elastic so that I actually get it and you can slide it and it'll lock into to the shape and the length that you need. So I need to do that follow-up video soon, but I have to also set up like B-roll for the sewing and all that stuff. If I do B-roll of that, I don't know. Oh, what's this? Oh, WhatsApp, all kinds of stuff going on. Seems to be doing all right so far. That bottom layer is definitely going to be crap though off that raft. I did video on it. Sweet. I don't think I know your channel, Tom. My sewing and knitting channel. I've actually joked to my wife a couple times about doing something totally goofy with her as a YouTube channel. She obviously declined, and it's definitely not something that's PC or that should be talked about in a stream, but it would be quite hilarious, and it would get a lot of subs, but she won't do it, sadly. Most of my, so I've bought, let's see, how many pairs have I bought? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've bought 8, 9. I bought more than half of my printers. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is 9. So this is the 9th review printer that I've received. That I currently have 10. Well, there's another review printer there. No, I print crap tons of stuff on them. I do house projects. I do just random things that I design. My wife wanted this love sign. Let's see if I can show you guys here. It's in sign language. And I just download the models, kind of put it together. and this one failed right here. I had to redo a little bit of the support and stuff like that, so it's just something kind of just she wanted done. So it's mostly just designing parts, a lot of practical printing. I print at least 1 to 2 projects per week just for the house on things that I've designed or things that I found online that would be useful in the house. So there's a lot of 3D printed products in my house, quite a lot. And over the Christmas and New Year's break, I designed a good half dozen or dozen things for the house just to help with organization and things like that. Those made the wife pretty happy. The hot plate's hot. It didn't fully go back straight. Like there's actual like kinks in it now, and there's no way that I can show that on video. But it's definitely like kinks in it now. So it definitely did not go fully back to. And I had it at 90°C for about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes there. That was pretty hot. Avoid going to IKEA. If there was an IKEA in this country, I would be there, but there's not, so that's why. Which printer do I use the least? Well, the Alfawise U10 is out of commission because I'm trying to figure out. I'm having issues with the with really getting up the full potential of the Titan extruder. So that one's not used right now. The FT5 is down because I need to replace parts on it. But like the printers that actually work that I use the least of, it's really hard to say. Right now it's probably the CR10 that I have up here, up out of the way. You guys can't see it. Just because I use the CR10S all the time because it is my high temperature and PETG monster. And then I use the TiVo Tornado for PLA pretty much only. And it prints all my large projects right now on the Tornado. And then the MK3, the MK3 clone, the Hypercube, the Anycubic i3 Mega, the Ender 3, all do MakerBox and project videos for any filament reviews that come out. All of those are always filled with a filament to be reviewing, which I still have about 15 rolls left to do-ish. A lot of them are going to be used for actual 3D printing projects and not quite reviews because I've already reviewed the filament. They sent me a couple extra rolls to do a project with. But everything in this cubby right here, you can kind of see that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 unique rolls in there that have to get reviewed. And then up top, I think it's just, oh no, I've got 3 more rolls of coax to review, but their ABS has to wait until I get the FT5 online because that has a acrylic enclosure with a charcoal filter, so I can actually print ABS during the day and it not be as, life-killing. Those are PLAs to do projects with. US Monofluent's all PLA to do projects with. And then this is my personal Ziltech order, the last order I did. I have more Ziltech coming in. I have some PETG coming in so I can do some other stuff with them. I just ordered that the other day, and that's but that's mainly what I use them for. And then the down here on the floor is the Fugatech 2020 i3, which a bunch of viewers and patrons all pitched together, and they bought that for me as a new dad gift whenever I had Maddie, my 4th child. Yes, people asking on the last comments video, I do have 5 kids. And no, I'm not Mormon, which is always the next question that comes up. Yeah, so that one's pretty good. I do a lot of flexible on that because I put on a Titan Aero on there. So I do a lot of flexible filaments on that, and I do a lot of flexibles on the Mark III. That's it. Yeah, forgot the name right there. I have a no print day at least once a week. I mean, I ebb and flow. There's some weeks I don't really print much, and there's some weeks where there are 8 to 10 printers going day and night. Like for the past 2 days, I had 4 printers printing nonstop to get MakerBox done in one day. I had 2 MakerBoxes to do, and I got them done in one day, less than 24 hours, because I was able to print 4 samples at once, and I had 12 samples in total to print. One print takes about 2.5 hours, so within a day I was able to get all 12 samples printed with no problem whatsoever. So I filmed the openers last night, I printed all since then. I filmed the follow-up and the closing tonight before I did the stream. I'll edit tomorrow. Monday and Friday those videos should be out. Unless I have something. And I still need to upload the Tetris things to Thingiverse. I have not done that yet. So that'll be something I do maybe tonight. It's only 11:30 at night right now. This still has, we're at 11% it says. So we're half an hour in. It's got 2 hours and 10 minutes left. I don't know if we're going to keep the stream going for another 2 hours. Unless I start doing some work here, because I have other things to do. But if it's printing, hooray. I didn't have any hiccups. So now it's just going to be, for this printer, it's just going to come down to the fact that I have to tune a profile. So I already cloned my Ender 3 profile. I'll do a test print with that, see how it turns out. And if it works out well, then I'll use it. If I have to tweak it, I'll tweak it. I think I have my retractions. My retraction's pretty spot on. I have no retraction issues on the Ender 3. Kind of how like Angus had crap tons of them. I don't know. I just set my profiles up a little different than he does. So I was kind of a little sad to see he had such issues with his Ender 3 and his Ender 3 Pro. But he finally fixed it. But again, I thought someone like that should have been able to fix it much sooner, as he is like one of the 3D printing guys. So anyways, I think I should have no problem setting this one up either. Happy 3D printing life. Llama, so I'm going to do a video here soon on 3D printing to keep the wife happy. I think that's going to be the title. I'm not sure yet. I want to think of something kind of funny, but a lot of the things I designed and printed over the break were for her, and she is a million times happier. Like the one was goofy, like this piece of cardboard here was the bottom of the diaper bag. So we have a Vera Bradley Miller bag, is what it's called. If anybody knows any of that, if you have wives, you should probably know that, at least in the US. And this piece of cardboard goes inside a piece of fabric that goes in the bottom to give it some rigidity. Well, after 8 years and having 5 kids and moving around the world many, many times, it has gotten rained on, juice spilt on it, dropped, dragged, thrown, everything to it. So it's pretty crummy shape. So I measured it out and 3D printed a replacement for it, which was pretty fun. It actually works out really, really well. And I used Magigoo to make it happen. Then I did some organization stuff for the kitchen. So I think I might do a video on that. If any of you guys follow me on social media, you saw a few weeks ago I teased some Nerf stuff. The Nerf wall is finished and it's all gloriness. I might do a video on just a wrap-up video. I don't have any time lapses. I don't have any like setup things. It's kind of like an overview of what I did, because I end up getting so busy doing a project, I don't film anything. And I don't know, I still kind of feel weird busting out the camera and a tripod in the house somewhere randomly. I got kids running around everywhere, and I just don't want screaming kids in my videos. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't record any of that. So I might just do like a follow-up on what I did in the tutorial on how to trace a logo in Fusion 360. I did that. That was fun to learn how to do it, and I can kind of share my experience with that. So there's a lot of ideas and things that I might do videos on. I just haven't kind of set my heart to them yet. Probably one of the designs, I don't know if you're going to look at it or not, I'm trying to incorporate a scannable QR code into a maker. Ooh, a scannable QR code into a maker coin. I don't know if you're going to get that kind of resolution. It has to be a pretty big coin. You're not going to get enough resolution, anything under a 2-inch or 3-inch coin. I can tell you that right now. Unless you're going to do SLA. So think about that, Tom, for your coin. Thanks for being here, John. Jewish. I wanted to get a Charon, but That's the Anycubic, and they wouldn't send me one. So, oh well. Bias against the Ender. One, I don't talk about where I live on YouTube. If you become a patron, you can find out all about what it is I do and where I live and my life travels. But I leave that specifically as private information, except to my patrons. Just put it this way: I don't live in the U.S., but I am American. I really want to try this filament sensor. Let's do it. What do you say? Let's try the filament sensor. So we're just gonna go snip, snip. Because like I'm not gonna stay here for 2 more hours on the stream. Let's try this first, and we'll try the power outage. See if that helps. See if that does anything. All right, filament's almost in there. So it's cut. It's right here. Okay, let's see what it's going to say here. Okay, it's in there. It's gone. It ain't stopping though. Oh, there it goes. Do you want to change filament? Oh, there it goes. It did check it. Yes, I do want to change filament. Auto out. No, no, no. Auto other way. There we go. So there's a little auto button right here. Ask me if I want to take the filament out. Sorry, that light up there is kind of in the way right there. So here's the auto out right there. All right, so there's the filament out. Stop. Okay, and we'll put the filament in. Now let's do auto in. That takes way too long. It's coming out. We can hit stop. And we can hit back. And back. And we can hit, let me get this filament out here first. We can hit play. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? It's like extruding crap tons of filament for no reason. Well, that was goofy as all get out. If I can snip that off the back of that. Ah! That was super weird. I don't know why I did that. Look, it extruded all of this as it went along. Very strange. Tom, you're better on sending me a message too, because I'm not going to remember. At Fugatech. Let's see. Yeah, the hygroscopicness of it is insane. I was saying hydroscopic. Somebody corrected me in a video. Because, I'm not an English major. But, yeah, so I use the filament dryer right here. It does wonders. When I say filament dryer, I mean a $20 food dehydrator from Aldi's. And I just cut out all the pieces in it, and yeah, it works out fantastically. Cut out all the center rings, the mesh in there. Yeah, it is a bit wobbly, but I don't really care. If I kick the legs out, it gets a little better, but it suits my needs because I fold this table up. So if I was to put any stiffeners on there, I'd have to make it so that they could come off easily, and that's just way too much work. But I normally don't have this table up in the room because, as you can see, there's not a whole lot of space in here. So I normally fold this table up and I just put it here against the cabinets, and I do that. Eventually, I have some stuff over here by my desk. I have the gigantic K280 printer and some other things that I might try to move somewhere, or at least get rid of another one of the shelving units there, so I can put the table against that wall. Because it's a little annoying because I get into these cabinets and their drawers a lot. Like, these drawers have a lot of there's drawers right behind me that have a lot of my tools and stuff in it, and I just haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet. Print some space. I understand that's the way to make filament on the Resume, but honestly, it's a bit too much. Oh, that's why I'm sorry about the changing that camera there. I'm actually hitting my power cable laptop, and the laptop's going to fall off. You know, the printer's only 180 bucks. The laptop's 1,500. So I'd rather not lose the laptop and lose the printer if I had to. And the other thing about this printer is the nozzle on it is honking huge. Like, it's not a standard MK8 nozzle. It's really, really big. Unless it's an MK10, because that's what the Crowdies have by default. But they don't look as big as this does. Like, this nozzle is huge. Wish I could build my dream printer. Although I did just build the Mark III, that was pretty cool, and the Hypercube is pretty cool. But I saw somebody posted they were doing a changer. It's an FT5 that's converted into a dual hot end, but it has a changer like the E3D one. But they did it before E3D did it, which is even cooler, and it's Core XY style, which is even cooler. So I don't know. I might check that out here one day. That might be a cool thing to build. Yeah, Resume is a gamble, but honestly, on the CR10S, it works really, really well. Because I printed all if you saw in some of the recent videos, these the project boxes that I'm doing, these are all printed using the filament out sensor on the CR10S, because I'm just using the leftover spools of any projects that I do or anything left over from filament reviews. There's no there's not enough to do any significant project with them. So I just throw them on there until they run out, and then I start the next one, and it kicks right off where it was, and it works beautifully, to be honest. It really is nice. So let's see, we've been at this for 2 hours. I will take another 5 minutes of questions if anybody has any, and I'm going to call it a night. So clearly this is printing, but you guys need to make sure you follow me on social media. I will probably still be up when this finishes in 2 hours and 2 minutes, as I'm going to probably edit tonight, some other videos, organize some files, things like that. Start some other prints on the other printers as they're all off right now because I'm recording and streaming. But yeah, so if anybody's got other questions, I'll answer that. Worst nose ever. So I never got the A20M or the A10M. I asked Gearbest to send me, so Gearbest sent me directly the A10, and I asked them for the A10M, or I asked them to send me the newer A10 because it's a different printer. Like, they changed so much in it. Tim from TH3 did a great video outlining all the differences, and I totally agree with him that I honestly can't even review that printer now. I can't review the Ender 3 because honestly it's not this printer you buy today. That was in the time frame that they sent it to me. So it's getting really hard to be a reviewer these days because the manufacturers are changing things so much. Unless you review it like the day you get it. But that's not really a review. That's a like, hey, this is what I think about it after using it for 5 minutes. Like, no, I put hundreds of hours on these machines before I even think about doing a review of them. So, I don't know. It's getting tough. Thanks, Tom. Again, send me a message on Twitter and I'll get back to you, bud. It would be cool if they made a small tool that heated and joined 2 bits of filament together. Well, they do. They just cost $800 and it's called the pallet. The pallet 2. No, there is, so someone had mentioned about a jig that they made using some 3D printed parts, some PTFE tubing, and I might try it and do a video on it and see what happens, and using a soldering iron in order to do it. So I have a bag, where is it? I have a bag somewhere that has a bunch of snips of filament in it, just like 1 meter, 2 meters each. It was literally like the very tail end of filament spools before I started printing the project boxes. And they're all PLA. And I thought maybe I should try to join these together and see if I could do something with it. Because if I can do that and then print something that you're going to paint, what does it matter what color the filament is? You know, you buy the cheapest PLA, whatever color you can, you're going to paint it anyways, it doesn't matter. That was kind of my idea of someone that has a lot of filament and goes through a lot of filament. You know, I mean, I don't go through a ton. I go through, you know, 1 to 2 rolls a week, roughly. Sometimes 3 rolls. But, you know, 1 to 2 rolls a week is usually what I print for projects and things around the house and prototyping and all kinds of stuff just for my desk and all kinds of stuff. So it varies what I end up using it for. But I thought that might be something fun. Tried to figure out how that guy did it, make a jig that would work for it, and try it out. Uses folded steel as a bottom parallel. Oh, that sounds pretty janky. Yeah, I really want a dual extrusion printer. Like, is it so hard to ask to get a dual extrusion printer to me, man? Like, I've asked Zix, I've asked CMCNC, I've asked Ultimaker. Obviously not getting one of those. There's no way in hell they're going to send me an Ultimaker machine. Yeah, I want a dual extrusion machine, like, to no extent. But next week, my MMU2 should be here. Should be here next week, unless mail gets delayed again, because the government is stupid. If it gets delayed again, I won't get it. But if it comes, then next weekend, Saturday, same time, same place, I should be doing an MMU 2.0 build and installation on my Mark III. And then, again, I'm still waiting to kind of see how the Mark III clone, how that still pans out with, you know, people purchasing stuff and how much money I make back from building it. If enough people use the links and stuff like that and I can justify the cost, I will buy the parts for the MMU 2.0 and I will clone it myself. 3D print the parts, buy all the parts on AliExpress as cheap as I can get them, and do a build video, so build live stream on that. just like I did for the Mark III clone. So it boils down to, you know, if people, you know, build it themselves and use my links. So that's what it comes down on that. A lot of 3D pen doesn't get as hot using Tron's. I do have 2 3D printing pens. Well, it's coming along pretty good, I think. Some little hickeys here and there, but again, watch me on social media. So Twitter @Fuganator, Instagram Fuganator, and Facebook is Fugatech. Just search Fugatech, you'll find me there. So I'll post an update on this later tonight, hopefully. If I don't, I'll post it tomorrow morning, and see how it ends up turning out. And I'll do another print after this, and just do a couple prints. I keep it here on the table for like a day or two. Do a bunch of prints on it, make sure it actually works, and then I will find a space somewhere on a shelf, which they are all almost full now, and I will do a bunch more prints on it, and we'll start doing some review filaments on this if it prints well, and get things rolling. After about a couple months, I'll do a review on it, unless they change it like everyone else changed their printers, but we'll see what happens. Oh, that's interesting. All right, well, thanks for tuning in, guys. You know, please like the stream. Please become a subscriber if you're not. I appreciate everyone chatting with me for the past while. I like doing kind of Q&A stuff, you know, sharing my experiences with some of these machines and just in 3D printing in general. If you guys want to donate to the stream, you know how to do that. Super chat. You can send the one-time links down below, or again, just use the affiliate codes down there. Remember, there's a lot of coupons down there for filament and printers and all kinds of stuff, so use those, save yourself some money. And that'll be it. So hopefully I'll have a stream next weekend for you guys on another project. If not, maybe I'll just do a stream just to hang out for a while. I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see y'all next time.